If you want to get your hands on the strongest and most interesting pals in Palworld, you'll need a breeding farm. That's not as easy as it sounds, but some pals can only be obtained this way, and it may also give you access to some that are incredibly difficult to catch and high leveled in the wild. So let's get down to it. The first thing that you will need in your base is of course a breeding farm, which you can unlock at level 19. This allows you to place a male and female pal into it, and a timer will start until an egg is produced, but only if you have a cake available. That's the tricky part because it requires a fair few ingredients. The first thing that you will need for your cake is flour, and for that you need a wheat farm worked by up to 4 different pals: a planter, a waterer, a harvester and a transporter. For this I use Broncherry, Serpent, Nightwing and Hellzephyr respectively, since they're all relatively easy to obtain. I prefer single skill pals so they don't get distracted with other jobs. You're also going to need berries. The same principle applies. Drop some berry farms and the same pals that we just mentioned will harvest them for you as well. Your next ingredients are eggs, honey and milk. You need specific pals to get this reliably. You can farm them out in the wild, but I much prefer to capture them and place a ranch down so they will keep producing these ingredients consistently. For eggs you will need chickpea, for honey you will need bee guard, and for milk you will need mozzarella. Your transporter pals will carry these ingredients to the pal feeder, so to ensure that they don't get eaten, make sure you drop some berries in the first slot of the container. That will make sure that only berries get eaten and they produce much faster than anything else, so it's a great way to sustain your pals while they work. Now you'll need a cooking pot worked by a kindling pal, and the higher the kindling the better. Once you've produced a batch of all the ingredients that you need, simply queue up some cakes and your fire type pal will start working the cooking pot to produce them. If you want your cakes and other foods to be kept safe for longer, you'll need a cooler box with an ice type pal assigned to it to keep your food fresh for much longer. Now you've got all that covered, you can place 2 pals in the breeding farm and drop some cake in the box, and after a short while an egg will appear for you to collect. The pals do not need to be the same species, and mixing it up can result in some very unexpected results. For example, Penking and Bushy will result in the incredibly powerful Anubis. Now that you've got your eggs, you'll need to hatch them. Set up some incubators in a fairly close area and you can drop your eggs into it to start the process. After a set amount of time, which is determined by the size of the egg, you can go and hatch it to get a level 1 pal as a reward. You can speed up the incubation process significantly by crafting either a heater or cooler, depending on whether or not your eggs need to be warmer or colder. You can tell from the text that appears when you hover over the incubator, and it is determined by the type of egg. Fire type eggs hatch faster with a heater, and ice types hatch faster with a cooler, for example. The heater will need a kindling pal assigned to it, and the cooler will need a cooling pal assigned to it, so bear that in mind when it comes to that. And there's still more that you can do to refine this process. You've got the food farm producing what you need, and the breeding farm making use of that to provide eggs. And you've got the incubation set up to hatch the eggs. Now you need a way to refine your pals into their strongest variations. For that you need the Pal Essence Condenser, an ancient technology like the incubator, but this one's unlocked at level 14. With this you can choose 1 pal and sacrifice others of the same species to make it stronger. If it's something that is particularly rare or hard to catch, then getting just a couple of them and breeding the rest will allow you to farm new pals for that species effortlessly, using the condenser to make your chosen pal stronger. And that is the entire process for getting the strongest and rarest pals in the game, all in your very own base. Experiment with the different breeding combinations and see what you get. Thanks very much guys. If you found this video helpful, then go ahead and hit those like and subscribe buttons and leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Take care and as always, have fun.